Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Now That You Mention It podcast with Roll, Jay, and RJ.
I'm Roll.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm RJ. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is for you all tuning into us. We hope that you guys had another great week. And we want to thank you all for continuing to support us, give us some of your time. Keep checking us out on whichever platform you favor, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, of course here visually on YouTube. And please go and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. Give us some love there. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you guys got going on in your life.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, and last but certainly not least, Instagram
or Podbean.
I said Podbean.
Yeah, he did say Podbean.
I'm just old and deaf. I can't hear you anyway.
Oh, and iHeartRadio. I did forget iHeartRadio.
And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button on YouTube so you get new alerts when our new content comes out.
Oh boy. Okay, never mind. Yes, it's down. You would point down. Anyways, hey, good evening, guys. How are you two doing?
Good, man. Just it's another lovely day in paradise. I feel kind of ashamed of myself. I'm gonna tell you guys because every year, my wife starts bugging me usually around the 1st of November about putting the Christmas decorations up. And yes, Topo Chico, we would love your support. And I always tell her no. I'm always a real big fan of at the day after Thanksgiving, you can deck the halls all you want. I don't like putting up Christmas decorations too early. You guys know, and Roland, your wife especially knows, nothing drives me crazier than to see the Christmas decorations, especially at stores, start rolling out like in August, September. It seems like every year it's getting earlier and earlier. Well, this year, our company decided, hey, it's been such a terrible year for most people. Let's go ahead and put our decorations up in the offices. And the first week of November, we put them up. So, of course, me being the, guy who likes to poke the bear that I am, I just happened to send a picture to my wife of, hey, look at our office. We put our Christmas decorations up.
Oh, man.
And I'll be damned if here we are the second week of November, barely moving into the third week of November. My house is all decked out.
That's your own damn fault.
I know. Well, she made me go to the storage unit, pull all the Christmas decorations out. We made a special trip to Home Goods because we had to get some new ornaments this year. And now I've got my Christmas tree up. My lights are up on the house. But I told her, I said, I'm not putting up, because I put inflatables up in my yard every year. I'm not putting inflatables up. That's why I draw the line till the day after Thanksgiving. But then again, that's all I really have left to do. Everything wasn't done.
Over the weekend, we pulled out all our boxes. Yeah, I mean we haven't started decorating, but we went ahead and pulled everything out so that the day after Thanksgiving, that's what we're going to be doing ourselves.
And I would just like to deliver a message on behalf of my mom, how the tables have turned.
Man. But what's funny is you're not even lying, dude.
She made a comment to us the other day too about, can you believe I don't have my Christmas decorations up yet and JJ already does?
Well, what's funny is somebody posted something on Facebook and somebody posted that Batman slapping Robin meme, right? And somebody put one up of Robin saying, "We wish you a merry," and before he could get Christmas out, Batman is slapping him, going, "Oh yeah." Well, I put that on Facebook, and then Aunt Precious and your mom are all over me, going, "Aren't you basically married to Mrs. Claus over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but I'm not going to put any Christmas decorations up." And here I am 2 days later. My back's all sore from climbing up and down the damn ladder to put the lights up on the house. People are driving through my neighborhood looking at me like I'm the nut because we're the only house in the neighborhood that has our lights up.
What's interesting? Over here by our house, there are a couple of houses that have already put up their Christmas decorations already too. I mean, not very many, but
Yeah.
a couple have already done it too. I think they're just trying to kick off the season early.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I really do enjoy about putting up my lights, though, is that my lights on my house are remote control, so I can control the color. I can control
You got it like that. I got the Walmart lights.
No, dude, I went all out. I said if I'm going to put lights up on the house, I'm doing this so I don't have to get up and go plug the light in and then go press the button to change it if I want to go from red to green or whatever. I just have a remote, man. I sat out in my car. I'm like, what color do I want tonight on my house? No, red doesn't look good. Oh, that green looks awesome. I think I'll put the green, and then I can change the way the lights light up in sequence. Like they'll either blink fast or they'll blink slow or solid, or it's like a running light. It'll go.
Pretty soon he'll I know, right? He's gonna have the Alexa turn on the Christmas lights.
Hey, that's coming, dude. When I do get my new house, you guys watch. I'm gonna be basically Clark Griswold my first year. Because you guys know, Dad used to love Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And we used to Mom and Dad used to go all out decorating the house. We used to have big old Christmas tree. We'd have themed Christmases. Remember they used to have that Santa Claus that sang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They had a microphone on it, right? You could do karaoke through it.
Yeah.
They used to have that little Santa Claus that sat down that writes the names on the list. So Christmas was always a big thing for us. And shortly after Dad passed, I don't know about you, but I didn't feel like decorating for like the next year or 2 years. I really didn't, and I didn't.
Well, we definitely continue to decorate, and it seems like every year we add a little bit more and a little bit more. My wife was showing me an ad for like a 40-foot Snoopy inflatable, and I looked at her and I said, "Woman, where the hell are we going to put that?"
I think I showed you guys. I think I texted you guys that picture. I was in the home goods store the day that we went to go look at, and I found a 40-foot inflatable Santa Claus and a 40-foot inflatable Nutcracker, which I really want to get the Nutcracker from my wife because she's into the Nutcrackers. She has a collection. She probably has 40 or 50 of them.
That is insane. Why do you need an inflatable that big?
Dude, it's awesome looking.
I get it.
And don't get me wrong, I love decorating for Christmas. I do.
So do
but
I.
I just don't like doing it early. I just don't like doing it at the end of October or start of November. I'm like, can we just get through Thanksgiving before we start with the Christmas?
No, I think part of me is I always love the house when it's dressed out in Christmas, even in fall, because my wife she does a bang up job.
Yeah.
As soon as the weather turns in October, we've got pumpkins and bales of hay.
Yeah.
We dress everything in fall colors. We have, on the fireplace mantle, she's got all these different arrangements that go up there. And once it's done, the house is beautiful. I love the way when she does it, and it always helps put me in the mood.
Well, your wife is one of those psychos that decorates for every holiday.
Yeah, she does. She does.
She's not a psycho.
Dude.
There you go. Stand up for your mom. Get those man.
I bet I have a doctor on speed dial who would beg to differ.
I think that deserves me an extra plate of deviled eggs.
So you're just trying to make up for the fact that she was going to take your ones away from them.
No,
listen to this. Here's a good one. So my other son, he found out that there's a such thing as National Deviled Egg Day, right? So he sends out this family text to everyone saying, "Wait a minute. You mean Mom has not been making deviled eggs for us for how long? I demand justice. She needs to retroactively
make up for all them years.
Make up for all the years that she didn't make us deviled eggs." And
especially since it's a made-up holiday from last year.
Oh my gosh!
And that's what I was gonna say is, have we gotten to the point where we have so many national holidays that now the side dishes are getting holidays. You know
Well,
what I mean?
hell, I'm going to invent National Day, so that I can just National Day, so that I can just celebrate all the national days in one day, and just take a day off from work, and just.
What about national? Now that you mention it,
We need
podcast day.
national. Now that you mention it, podcast day.
Well, anyway, so the other part of that is, so this weekend, as you know, last week was my birthday.
Right.
So we really didn't do anything because of the pandemic, and we had so many family things going on. We just never really did anything. So I smoked a brisket over the weekend. And
is that what you kids are calling it these days?
What's that?
Oh my gosh, that was
Smoking
so
a brisket.
dumb.
Oh my God. Anyhow, so my wife made a small batch of deviled eggs. Well, the boys were here helping to get the Christmas decorations down, so we could start setting up, getting staging everything. We weren't going to decorate yet. We were just going to get everything put in one place, so when we got ready to do the decorations, we knew where everything's at. Well, so she comes out while we're in the middle of unloading boxes, and she says, "Hey guys, I only made a small batch, only this many deviled eggs." And you think that she would have come out and slapped my two sons. They were like, "What? That's all we're going to get? That's it. The work stops right now." And I told her, waited till after we were finished to tell them there was only a limited amount of deviled eggs. You had to tell them right now.
Hold on,
Alex, who'd been upstairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Comes down, puts the ladder up and slams it shut and says, "I'm done."
The boycott is on.
Yeah, that was more Alex than me.
Yeah, but you still protested too. You had your fair share. When she said, and the other thing too is they're used to the way she makes them. So she makes them.
I had no complaints. That was Annabelle and Alex.
She still made. I mean, they came out good, but they're used to the way she makes them. And part of it uses Miracle Whip in making the deviled egg. Well,
because it was last minute.
Yeah, because it was last minute. We didn't have any Miracle Whip, so she used another mayonnaise, right? And when she came out and again told the kids, "Hey guys, it's going to be just a little bit different this time because I don't have Miracle Whip." Again, and this time all three of the kids were like, "What are you talking about? What? This isn't right. This is not."
And here's the thing: is when you get used to your parent making food a certain way, like for me, I will never be able to eat potato salad that is not as good as Jesse P's potato salad.
That's right.
You just can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care whose barbecue I go to. They may make a very good potato salad
with raisins in it.
Oh, hell no, that's disgusting. But it's not Jesse P's potato salad, right? And so, that's how I am with that. That's how I judge potato salad now. I mean, that's the standard for me. If it's not Jesse P worthy, and this is how I know when potato salad is Jesse P worthy. If I want to make a potato salad sandwich out of it, that's how I know potato salad is worthy. You think? See, he's laughing because he doesn't know about the potato salad.
And then you get your box of raisins.
Hell no, dude. Who puts raisins in potato salad?
Where the heck are you getting raisins from?
I'm just messing with him.
Man,
that's like a Chad. What's that? Chad Boswick skit on SNL when he played T'Challa doing Black Jeopardy.
Oh my gosh!
Have you seen that skit?
No,
it's funny.
I don't think I have either.
He talks about potato salad with raisins in it.
Well, anyway, so back to your point, you're absolutely right. The kids are all accustomed to the way she makes her deviled eggs. They're accustomed to the way she makes her pies. They're accustomed to the way she makes her rice. So, I mean, I've literally gone with, we've gone out to dinner with our kids, and on more than a couple occasions, they really won't eat the rice. Now, RJ's a little bit less finicky than the other two. But the other two are extremely
a little.
And if the rice is not up to their mother's quality, they won't eat it. They won't eat it. I've even tried to make rice myself, and they have no problem telling me
This is not mom's rice.
Yeah, that my rice sucks.
It's not as good.
But
Well, you know, it is what it is. We grow up with the things that we like. We
Mhm.
grow up, you know, used to, you know, and we were always a big family. Miracle Whip was always a big deal in our house,
Mhm.
but there were just some people that I know people who don't like Miracle Whip.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
And I don't know what the hell's wrong with them, but you know, whatever. That's
I think a friend of the show actually, I believe I was told Sam Liao does not like
No,
Miracle
Edward,
Whip.
I think it was Edward, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Edward?
Well, Sam too. Well, that's because in their household growing up, their father, he does not like Miracle Whip. He likes traditional mayonnaise like Hellman's, which I'm a fan
yeah.
of.
I don't mind traditional mayonnaises either, but if you put a jar of mayonnaise on the counter
Mhm.
and a jar of Miracle Whip on the counter, and you tell me to make a sandwich,
I'm
I'm going for the Miracle Whip
Yeah, me
9.9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, me
You know,
too.
and I don't have anything against mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise,
Yeah.
but I prefer Miracle Whip over regular mayonnaise.
Mhm.
I like them both, but I think I've gotten to the point where now I'd probably go with normal mayonnaise.
Dude, and I'm gonna tell you what, because we're gonna talk about this a little bit later in the show, but gourmet tip: when you're making a grilled cheese sandwich, don't put butter on the outside of the bread. Put mayonnaise when you cook it, dude. Game changer. I'm telling you right
All
now.
right, I'll test it out. But I mean, why don't we use this to segue into that topic?
Yeah, because I mean, we were talking off air.
Yeah,
about,
we're talking
yeah,
food already, so
about what our guilty pleasure TV shows last week, and Roland brought up the idea. It was like, well, what's your guilty pleasure food?
yeah.
And I had to think about it for a minute, but you know, if it's me on me, I'm okay. 100%, you know, 100% clarity for our viewers, listeners. I'm diabetic. I am. So I have to watch what I eat is in terms of carbs, sweets,
Mhm.
things like that. And I try to eat a low carb, high protein diet most days. But there are times when you slip up and things like that. But for me, I lose it whenever there's pasta in front of me, man. Like I love pasta. Italian is my favorite food. You know, I told Roland, I said, man, if somebody puts down a lasagna in front of me, I'm all over it like Garfield, dude. It's not even funny. I'll eat 3-4 slices of, depending on how good, if the sauce is good, if the meat is good, you know, if it's solid and not too runny, because you know people can make some runny lasagna, but
Sure.
but man, I'll go. And whenever we go out to eat at an Italian restaurant, it's funny because my wife looks at me, she goes, "Are you gonna get something different?" I'm like, "Nope, just give me some lasagna. That's what I want. I want lasagna." To the
You
point.
don't at least switch up the pasta, man.
Well, no, I will sometimes. I'll get spaghetti, or you know, I like bolognese. You know, I'll try different things. It depends on what restaurant I'm going to. But like if I'm going to Olive Garden, I'm getting the tour of Italy every time. You know, which is chicken parmigiana, fettuccine alfredo, and a slice of lasagna. Right.
So what what I've learned from this segment is that Jay thinks Olive Garden is Italian food.
I look, dude, don't sleep on Olive Garden. I'm telling you what, just because it's a national chain restaurant does not mean the food is not good at Olive Garden.
Oh,
Now,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying
is
it's
it
bad.
Prego Pasta House over on Greenville Avenue? No. You know, is it, you know, Tony's over in Euless? No, it's not, because Tony, that dude straight up from Sicily, that dude can make some pasta. But in a pinch, if I'm just looking for something quick, especially where I live, there's not a whole lot of Italian options around me.
Mhm.
Olive Garden's a good you know spot to go to.
You
I
go,
like
you,
their
go,
food.
you go to that one right there on I-30.
Yeah, the one that's right here out off
The
30
new
in
one.
Westmoreland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to St. Rocco's over there in Trinity Groves?
You know, my wife has. I've heard some not too good things about it. I've read some pretty bad reviews on it. And so I can honestly say I've never tried it. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there twice. I haven't had a bad experience. I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the most amazing, you know, Italian in
I try to
South.
stay away from Trinity Groves just for the simple fact that that's a
Understood.
tourist spot.
Yeah.
Everything over there is overpriced. There's only one spot I consistently go to at Trinity Groves, and that's the Cake Bar,
Yeah, the cake bar is awesome.
dude. Because that chick can make some cakes, man.
The cake bar is awesome.
Hey, Cake
What-
Bar, if you're
The
listening,
seafood restaurant there.
you know,
Amber
Jay
Jacks.
from the
Yeah.
Amber Jacks is
from
good
the,
too.
now that you mentioned
Yeah,
the
it
podcast with Roll J and RJ, is a big fan of your key lime cake. So just so you know, all right.
What
No,
about you,
what about
Deb?
you
What,
guys?
what's your guilty pleasure food that you shouldn't eat?
Well, like my brother, I too am diabetic, but probably the most guilty pleasure for me is a very good homemade flour tortilla.
Nothing
You know,
better, man.
I can't. I mean, most of the time, if I'm sitting down in a Mexican restaurant and there's rice and beans and of course your chips and salsa that get you started, those are usually the big carbs that most people eat. If I know that the place has quality flour tortillas, I'll try and
Forgo
hold
all
off
the other
eating
carbs.
all those carbs
Yeah,
just to get to the flour tortillas, like Gonzalez, in Oak Cliff.
dude.
Their flour tortillas are amazing. They're almost like pancakes.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's just what I was thinking, man. They're not even like they're like damn pancakes, dude. They're thick, they're
Yes.
fluffy, they're good, they're hot.
I mean, every time I go
Slash butter on there.
there, sometimes we go there for business lunches, and I'll order extras to bring home. Because if I come home, if my wife finds out that I went to Gonzalez and I didn't bring home flour tortillas,
Don't come home.
there's hell to pay.
Damn.
Right, exactly.
Don't even come home.
But there's so many other restaurants that like you were talking earlier, even Uncle Julio's, which
Yeah.
again is a chain, but they have great flour tortillas.
They do.
They're really good.
And I think the difference is the places that actually make them in house rather than buy them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Julio's, they have the little flour tortilla press over there, and they got they got somebody that's over there just all they do, especially during a lunch or dinner rush, is just stand over there and make flour tortillas. I think that's the key, because you have a lot of places to just buy them. And as far as like store bought or mass produced flour tortillas, Marquez has a really good flour tortilla. I love Marquez. Like if I'm going to the supermarket, that's usually I kind of pick up, or on the occasions that I do get down to Waxahachie, where our nearest HEB is, man, HEB store flour tortillas, the butter flour tortillas, dude. If you haven't had those, you're missing out. That right there.
Well, that's what I was telling you too. You got to try the Supermercado flour tortillas, because Supermercado, they make theirs and they're really good. I mean, they're up there. I wouldn't say necessarily better than Marquez, but they're good. They're good in a pinch.
I gotta go try them out. I've never tried the ones from there.
Yeah, no, they're good quality flour tortillas. But yeah, that's my one weakness, man. I mean, I can for the most part, I can kind of do without certain things.
Yeah,
In most restaurants, especially if I know that I've been eating bad
yeah.
in the week.
Well,
whatever.
like I told you, typically when we go to a Mexican restaurant, I won't even eat the rice and beans. I might have a bite of them,
Yeah,
but usually I'll have the whatever entree I ordered. I might have a bite or two of the rice and beans, and the rest of it just goes back.
Mhm.
Just because I know that it's a lot of carbs,
Mhm.
but B, we talked about it. You
Right.
grow up liking what you like, and so I like how certain people in my family make rice, make the beans, and that's what I'm used to.
Mhm.
So a lot of places I'm going to, I'm like, man, this rice, either the rice is too sticky,
Mhm.
or it's not fluffy, or it doesn't have enough tomato sauce in it, or I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
some of them are tasteless.
there's just like
Yeah.
no flavor to it, man.
All right, so that brings us to RJ. What's RJ's little guilty pleasure?
Well,
2 to
before I
3
get into
sandwiches.
mine, I was just gonna finish up with some tortilla talk.
Uh-oh.
I actually was big on flour tortillas when I was a kid, but
Mhm.
now I kind of prefer the corn tortillas, to be honest with you.
Well, it's hard to beat a good authentic corn tortilla. I mean, that's the business we grew up in.
Yeah.
So anytime you go to a restaurant that has, good quality corn tortillas, and I'm not talking about maseca, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about, any of these that have, you know, preservatives and stuff in them. Even if you make them in store, because some restaurants will make them in house, but they still start off with the Maseca mix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And some places make it better than others. So I've had a little, kind of all over the spectrum. But if we go to a restaurant and they have a pure stone ground corn tortilla,
I'm down.
I'm down too, all day long, all day long.
Well, that was just my quick comment on that. But if I got to talk about my guilty
Communist.
pleasure, what?
Communist.
How? Anyways, we're gonna ignore that idiocy, and we move forward. But my guilty pleasure.
My dirty, my dirty.
Ooh.
Oh
Okay,
my
hold on.
god!
Now we're really getting deep
Wait a
into
minute,
the
wait a minute. I think you're getting way off topic here. I said guilty pleasure.
We got some real comedians here. Anyways, it's probably gonna surprise at least you, Uncle Jay. It might surprise my dad. I wouldn't say it's super. It's not too bad in terms of the unhealthy, but it definitely has a lot of sodium in it, and that's gonna be crawfish boils. I don't know if I love me a good crawfish boil with shrimp, potatoes, corn, sometimes crab in them from places like Sunset Crab Shack here in Oak Cliff, or even Rocking Crab over there in Duncanville.
Yeah, your mom and dad will tell you all day. I don't do seafood, man. I
Yeah.
don't like seafood. I don't.
I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it.
No, dude, I don't even go that far. It's just, I don't know. I just growing up, I never was a fan of seafood. I never have been a fan of seafood. And this will surprise a lot of people. I don't even eat tuna. I don't
Really?
eat tuna fish.
Nope.
And I know we used to eat it when we were kids.
Yeah.
So what do you consider seafood? Fish sticks?
No, I don't eat any kind of seafood. I don't eat anything, dude. I don't eat fish. I don't eat Long John Silver. I don't eat any kind of seafood whatsoever. No fish.
Dang. No catfish?
Crab. No nothing. Nuh-uh. No crabfish.
So he better hope that the oceans never really flood the earth during his lifetime, because if there's nothing but seafood,
If
he's
seafood
gonna
becomes the prominent dish
he's gonna
of
starve to death.
the world.
No, I'll tell y'all like I tell everybody else. Doesn't matter if the ocean rise. I'll be able to find a steak somewhere. Because a lot, and that's funny with me. Because a lot of people that like my wife, she's like, I really want seafood tonight, but I don't want to. Because I'm like, if you want seafood, let's go. I'll take you wherever you want to go to get where there's seafood. Because anywhere that I go is going to serve either chicken or have a chicken
burger.
or steak option. Well, yeah, a burger. They'll have a chicken fillet, something. They'll have some kind of other option.
I remember one time, I think he said it to me, but he may have said it to Jay. I remember one time we went as a family to Red Lobster, and I think it may have been the one time I ordered. I wasn't in the mood for seafood, so I ordered a steak, and my dad goes, "Who in the hell comes to a seafood place and orders a steak?"
Me, all day. I'll go to a seafood restaurant with people, but there's typically some kind of meat, steak, or chicken option on the menu that I can have. That I won't.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Papados might be the exception to that rule.
No, Papados has steak on the.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That might be the one place where if you're at a seafood restaurant and you're not in the mood for seafood, that it'd be okay to get a steak at, because their quality. But yeah,
Like,
I mean,
even like Hook, Line, and Sinker, where my wife likes to go over on McKinney, they have a really good burger option. That's really good.
When was the last time you did eat fish that you can recall? Do you even remember when was the last time you had fish?
I will tell you this: it's been over probably 25 years.
Wow.
Like maybe it was when we were kids during Lent or something like that, where we had fish on a Friday or something.
let me ask you.
The
Let me
last
ask
time
you
I had
this.
any kind of seafood.
Have you ever had sushi?
No, not
Would
once.
you try sushi?
Nope.
Man, you're missing out on some quality foods, man.
Mark Cuban could pull up and say, "Hey Jesse, I will put down $1 million if you eat this plate of sushi." And I will tell Mark Cuban, "You know what, dude? Go invest that in Shark Tank because it ain't happening here, buddy."
For $1 million, I might try dog and eat wishbone. What are you talking about, man? You're crazy.
Hey, I have my beliefs, dude. I have my. I don't. I just can't, dude. I've tried. There's several different foods that I will absolutely not eat. Seafood, and I don't eat avocados.
What?
I hate avocados, dude. I cannot stand avocado. And you know, I'm a little weird with some foods like tomatoes. I won't eat tomatoes if they're raw. If they're cooked into something, I don't mind tomatoes, but I don't eat raw tomatoes for anything. I won't eat cantaloupe. I don't like cantaloupe. Strawberries. You know what? Strawberries. I'm to the point in my life. I don't mind the taste of strawberry. What I don't like are the seeds. Right? For me, it's a texture thing. Like the strawberry, because it's too spongy and all the seeds in it, it just kind of grosses me out. So I don't eat strawberries. But like my wife will make strawberries in a licuado, like in a shake or something, and I don't mind it then. It doesn't bother me as much because it's not in that form. But like I can taste avocado in anything, dude. She tries to sneak it in on me in a salsa or something, and she'll blend it in with something, and I'll taste it right away. I'm like, nope. She's like, why? I said, because it's got avocado. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. And I walk into the kitchen and there's avocado husk. I'm like, you ain't fooling me.
So if I invite you to my house for a fish fry with guacamole, you ain't eating?
Well, you ain't seen your brother that day. That's all I can say.
Here's what you do. Tell him you're smoking a brisket. And then do a bait
on the Bobby.
and do a bait and switch.
No, because then what'll happen is I'll call the nearest
Mr.
Jim's or Pizza Hut or whatever, and I'll have one delivered. Y'all can eat y'all's nasty swimming grossness in avocados, and I'll eat pizza.
Dude, oh man, you're such a child.
But you're telling me no. Hold on. You're telling me
people who don't eat
no
food
food
are
that you don't like.
children.
You're telling me there's no food that you don't like that you won't eat.
No, I'm not saying I don't like. There's no foods that I won't eat.
Yeah, because we don't want to talk about going to Chinese restaurants now, do we?
Okay, hold on. I'll eat Chinese food. It's not the food that I have an issue with. It's just
like 95% of the Chinese restaurants that he won't
how
go
clean
to.
is the place. You know what I mean?
It's more than that.
Yeah.
We've been to restaurants that I know are clean, but he's like, man, I'm not eating here.
Man, I eat tons.
Hey, look, RJ, grandma doesn't eat eggs. She won't eat eggs. You know that. You've gone out to breakfast with her before. She won't eat eggs. Grandma doesn't eat eggs, dude. She doesn't like them.
Well, yeah, all I'm saying is,
what about you, Roll? Is there any food out there that you won't eat that you don't like?
Anything that has too many olives in it, like
I don't like olives either.
Huh?
I won't
like a muffaletta.
Yeah, like a muffaletta.
Yeah.
So what was funny is one time I didn't know that muffalettas came with olives in them, right? So I ordered this sandwich, this muffaletta.
Yeah.
And it had roast beef. It had 3 kinds of cheeses, all kinds of, man, I was watering at the mouth. And we get back to the office.
And it has the olive spread on it.
No, well, I take the biggest bite in history. And I'm spitting it out. I'm like, what the hell? Why did they put olives on there? And he said,
it's muffaletta.
You don't know that muffalettas come with olives on them? It's one of the ingredients. And the thing is, I tried to scrape it all off. Well,
the flavor,
the juice of the olives is already. So I basically had to let somebody else eat my sandwich. I had to go get something and heat it up in the micro. I was like, so mad.
Yeah.
So
I don't like olives, and I don't eat mushrooms either. I don't like mushrooms.
I can do mushrooms. But having said that, I mean, there's almost nothing that I mean, I'll eat sushi. There's certain sushis I won't eat, but I'll eat. We can go to a sushi bar and I'll find something to eat. You know, Cajun bar. I don't do like RJ likes like he said, the crawfish boils. I don't do those. That's just not my thing. But you know, lobster and everything else.
Oh man, a good lobster is
everything else is in play.
Gross, man.
You know, it's very few cuisines that I really won't at least try.
Yeah.
If I can find something. But I will say we went to last year for the company Christmas party. We went to, I'm not going to say the name because I you know, it's not their fault.
They may sponsor us one day.
They put a good product out. It's just that their cuisine wasn't for me. Right. And I mean, I tried 2 or 3 different things and I was like, none of it was appealing to me.
Yeah.
And they do pretty good. So it's just me, obviously. It's a cuisine thing that I just didn't really sit well with me. But outside of that, for the most part, I can eat just about anything. Again, you know, and it's funny when I talk about the black olives or even green olives, I can eat them on a pizza. Now, for the most part, if it has too many, I pluck them off and I give them to my wife or my kids because they all love olives, which I can't for the life of me understand why.
I can't either, man. I don't get it.
But I'll you know, but if there are little pieces of it on the pizza, I can usually eat it. It won't bother me because it's not overwhelming. But mushrooms I can eat, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm weird like that. I just have.
That's why whenever we go to lunch or dinner, I tell everybody I'm flexible. I'll find something on any.
And I am too. I'm very, very flexible. Whenever we go somewhere, I'll find something that I like, or I'll order something. If I don't like something that's in, I'll just tell them to take it off. It's no big deal for me. I'm not one of these kind of people that are like, I don't want to go there because I don't like that. I don't like this or I don't like that. I'll anywhere. Like I said, I'll go to a seafood place all day long because I'll find something that I like.
The other thing I don't like is wasabi. The first time I went to a sushi place, right?
Yeah.
So it was the first time my buddies from the office took me. We went in, I placed the order, and so they brought the wasabi out, and one of my buddies said, "Hey, go easy on this stuff. It's spicy." And I said, "The spicy is my middle name, man. What are you talking about?" So I get a bunch of it. I mix it up and you know, with the soy sauce, and I just take a big old slather of it, and I'm looking to spit wherever I can spit, and they're all laughing their asses off at me. And I said, "No, it's not the spice, man. I can't stand the taste of wasabi."
Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys in on a dirty little secret in the restaurant industry. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people won't believe me, but you can go out and fact check this. All you fact checkers, get your fact checking software ready. Okay, 90% of wasabi served in restaurants is fake. It's basically colored horseradish. Okay, because the wasabi plant is so hard to find and so hard to manufacture into a food grade product to serve in a restaurant like that, that it's very, very rare and it's very, very expensive to serve wasabi. So whenever you're going into a restaurant, you're going into your sushi place, that wasabi you're eating is basically colored horseradish. That's why you don't like the flavor of it.
How did you come to acquire this info?
Dude, I worked in the restaurants for 30 years, dude. I know stuff, all right? Trust
me.
You
didn't eat there.
Yeah, I don't eat there, but I can tell you that, dude. It's a fact in the restaurant industry that 90% of wasabi is fake. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to find is fake, especially when you get into certain parts of the country that are like landlocked. That's hard for them to come about fresh fish and things like that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of landlocked cities and stuff like that use imitation crab meat. They don't use real crab meat whenever they're serving something like crab cakes or whatever. because it's hard for them to get that kind of
Well, and there,
seafood in those areas.
yeah, and there's other tricks of the trade too. Like for example, when avocado prices are
Yeah.
Through the roof, they'll use the mashed peas.
Hmm. There's two times a year when the avocado harvest between where we get the majority of our avocados in Mexico and Chile are when they're harvesting or when the harvest is too soon, that avocado prices spike, and places will either, like your dad said, they'll use a mashed pea substitute, or they'll cut out avocado altogether. There's times when you go to like Chipotle, and Chipotle tell you, oh, we're out of guacamole.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they're out of guacamole is because in that time of season during the year, when the harvest between Chile and Mexico is either overlapping or underlapping, and say that they just don't have the product. They don't want to serve it because when they try to mash it, the avocados are too hard. It comes out stringy. It comes out too chunky. You can't eat it. So another little restaurant tip for you people out there.
Well, I think that'll wrap up food and guilty pleasure talk for tonight. So why don't we move on over to top 5 cartoons?
Okay, so this is a funny topic because I'm 48. Your dad just turned 50, but I guarantee you, he still watches cartoons, right? Even here or there, a little 5-minute jaunt. Don't lie. Scooby Doo's playing on. You're not gonna, you might stop down for 10 minutes of Scooby Doo. You might stop down for a nice Bugs Bunny cartoon.
You know what? I find myself. The truth is, yes, I'll watch a good cartoon, but it's. I think because the simplicity of the cartoons as a child growing up, we kind of have lost that innocence. So most of the time, if I'm going to watch a cartoon nowadays, it's going to be an adult cartoon like Family Guy, Family Guy, The Simpsons.
So, okay, let's discount those as a cartoon because I'm talking about, and RJ, I think you kind of meant this, cartoons that a kid would watch. Because when you start looking at things like Archer and Simpsons and Family Guy, South Park, I think those kind of cartoons they're more
adult based,
adult oriented, and not really in the realm of a cartoon per se. For me, I like a little bit of old school, a little bit of stuff mixed in. Okay, so I'm going to start with number 5 for me, the Flintstones. Love the Flintstones, dude. There's some, you go back and you watch some of the episodes nowadays and you realize, man, there's some of this stuff probably shouldn't have been allowed on TV. But yeah, I mean, wife beating and things like that. Cancel culture would have came for the Flintstones in this day and age. Okay, number 4 for me, the Jetsons. I love the Jetsons. That's another classic cartoon that, whenever I'm flipping through and if it's on Boomerang, I'll stop down for an episode or two of the Jetsons. I like the Jetsons. Number 3, Thundercats. Thundercats is awesome, dude. Have you ever seen Thundercats, RJ?
I think like an episode.
Dude, Thundercats was the shit. Lion-O was awesome. Such a great cartoon. Number 2, it's a battle for the top couple of spots, but I like Dexter's Laboratory. I always thought that was a really good cartoon. Funny. The episode where he can only speak French and all he can say is omelet with cheese. That's one of the funnier episodes of that show. And he becomes like he keeps saying it over and over, and he becomes like a worldwide phenomenon and rich and famous. And then
I think I know what your number 1 is. What's
that?
Sophia the First.
Oh my God. Doc McStuffins.
Who? What is that?
Don't pretend like you don't know.
I bet he's a huge Teletubby guy.
No, dude, Dora the Explorer. No. In all seriousness, G.I. Joe's my number 1. I love G.I. Joe. I always liked Cobra Commander. I always thought G.I. Joe was a fun show. I liked it. And just quick runner up, Transformers was high on my list, but I didn't throw it in there.
So, okay, RJ, go ahead, and I want to hear yours because you're more modern cartoons.
Okay. I have a big list. I'm not gonna say I'm only doing top 5, but I went through and just thought about all the different cartoons I've watched as a kid, because I've watched some of the older ones like He-Man, things like that. Seen a little bit of Thundercats, but unfortunately, none of those made it in my top 5. But it was pretty hard to pick a top 5, just thinking about all the great cartoons that came out when I was a kid. And so, number 5, Darkwing Duck. I don't know if you guys remember.
Darkwing Duck. Yeah.
That was a good one. I like that one. An honorable mention, I guess, was DuckTales. I think that was the name of it.
Yeah. DuckTales. Ooh. Yeah. With Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. So number 4, Recess.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a great cartoon, man.
Man, it really is.
TJ and Spinelli and Gretchen. God, what was the fat kid's name?
Oh, Mikey.
And the smart one.
The girl with the glasses.
Gretchen. Yeah, that's Gretchen. Spinelli was the tough one. TJ, and then Mikey.
Vince.
There you go. I used to love that show. Actually,
I do.
Recess was a good show.
Oh,
dang.
Anyways, that was such a great show. I loved watching it as a kid. Number 3, Gargoyles. I don't know if you remember that one.
It. I don't think I ever got into that one.
I couldn't sit here and tell you what the plot is that this current day, but I just remember. Well, I know some of the plot.
There's no plot to most of them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I couldn't recall a specific episode, but I know when I was compiling my list of all the cartoons, I remember that one really stuck with me as a kid. This one for sure. Number 1 and number 2, I think my dad might get, but number 2, Batman, the animated series.
Oh, that was a great cartoon.
I loved watching those as a kid.
Batman Beyond, too. Did you ever watch the Batman Beyond one?
That's the one where he's like more modern and sleek and has like the red bat on his.
Yeah.
I've seen
Bruce Wayne's an old man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually the mentor to the new Batman.
Yeah. I've seen episodes of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. And then number 1, Doug. Doug was a great show as a kid with Skeeter.
Is he the one with the football head?
No, you're thinking of Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Doug was.
He had the green shirt or vest with the white shirt.
Okay,
And his best friend was blue. Yeah.
And that the kids are like the children are like not skin tone color. They're like yellowish,
purple and blue. And
I remember that show.
I would probably say that was my favorite show.
I'm surprised what didn't show up on your list, RJ.
What?
That I kind of enjoy whenever I'm flipping through is Fairly Odd Parents. I like that cartoon.
Fairly Odd Parents is good, but by that time I was already kind of in my teen years.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too keen on cartoons at that. I mean, I was still watching them because, of course, I was babysitting my cousins, and they were all watching them. But when I think of all the cartoons that I watched, I mean, there's so many I missed out on. Arthur didn't make the cut. Zaboomafoo was a good show.
Ooh,
those were both good shows.
What is that?
You never saw Zaboomafoo?
No, never heard of it.
It was about a lemur and 2 brothers.
The Kratz brothers.
Yeah, you remember that one?
Yeah, I did.
It was kind of like a nature show. The intro would start out, he was an actual lemur, and then they would cartoonize him. But it was pretty cool.
What about you, bro?
Oh, my cartoons, my favorite cartoons list are going to be very nostalgic and old school. But one modern cartoon that if I'm going to sit down and watch, I love watching SpongeBob.
I knew he would make an appearance on somebody's list.
Just Mr. Krabs. You know,
Oh,
just
Lord.
the nasally voice and
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Huh?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good SpongeBob.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hey,
Anyway,
Nickelodeon,
so-
if you're watching this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I always liked SpongeBob because it had, you know, it had kind of stupidity humor into it, you know.
Well, it's got a catchy theme song too.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
that.
yeah, that.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob.
But yeah, but he's right. I think more so the humor in it is what
Yeah.
Yeah.
really separates it.
And Mr. Krabs always reminded me of DJ, you know, real Penny Pincher.
Whatever.
SpongeBob, me boy. Anyway, so that's kind of one of the most modern ones that's on my list.
Yeah.
Transformers is on my list. The series that we grew up watching.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The original.
Optimus Prime, and I mean, I had to watch almost every week the episode.
It culminated in the very great Transformers the movie.
Yes, right.
Dude,
That's still one of my favorites of all time to watch.
that's an awesome cartoon movie.
So these you'll remember, Jay, because I'm pretty sure you watched them with me when we were growing up. But do you ever remember the original Speed Racer cartoons?
Oh yeah. Go
Huh?
Speed
Oh,
Racer.
I've seen
go
those.
Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go. With Speed
That was a
Racer
good
and
one.
Trixie and Racer X was his brother.
By the quality of cartoons these days, you look at it doesn't hold up.
No,
But-
of course not.
At the
It's a
time,
great one.
but at the time, the Mach 5 was the coolest freaking car.
Remember we used to
outside
try
of
to
the
draw it all the time?
Huh?
We used to try to draw it all the time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the Mach 5 would have that little foot on it. When he would press
Yep.
the thing, it would make it jump.
Yep.
Damn, Mach 5
So
was
Speed
awesome.
Racer. Do you remember the cartoon G-Force?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was just thinking about that. That's the one where they would make the Phoenix.
Right.
The Flying
Fiery
Phoenix.
The Fiery Phoenix with
And it had
Tiny, Cheop, Mark.
the fat one,
Yeah, that was Tiny.
and then the girl, the one in the pink.
Princess.
Yeah. I remember that one, G-Force.
Yep.
That was a good show.
That one. Do you remember Star Blazers?
Okay, so that's the one that has they're in a big ship that sailing through into the atmosphere or into outer space. It has a big gun on it.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. I remember that one too.
Star Blazers.
That was a good one too.
Yeah. So those would be my ones that, like, if I'm gonna would like to sit down and just watch cartoons. The other honorable mention for me are the classic Looney Tunes. You know,
Oh yeah.
back when Bugs Bunny, when nothing was taboo, right?
Dude.
And I'm talking about Elmer Fudd back in the day, shooting everything and everybody, and
Yeah.
you know, they had all kinds of racist, sexist.
The whole it's rabbit season, no it's duck season, no it's
Yeah.
rabbit season, no it's duck season, no it's rabbit season, no it's rabbit season, no it's duck season, no it's duck season. Dude, there's so many times I've laughed so hard at a stupid Bugs Bunny cartoon or a Roadrunner cartoon.
Mhm.
Even now, I mean, you go back and you watch some of them, and it's you haven't seen some of them in 30 or 40 years, and you catch up on some of them, and some of them are just so freaking hilarious, man.
They are because, again, when you're a kid, you're watching them because of the animation part of the fascination. Some of them have subtle undertones that you don't understand because you're just a kid. But now that we're adults and you see them, and you laugh because you know that there's a subtle innuendo.
Yeah,
In the
I enjoy the ones with Muggsy and his sidekick. Muggsy's a little short gangster,
yeah.
the sidekick, and he keeps telling Bugs Bunny to shut up. Bugs Bunny,
Shut
I can shut up. I'm very good at shutting up. And he goes, shut up, shutting up.
Yep.
Dude, greatness.
So those would probably be the cartoons that I would love to watch.
I have to go back and revisit some of those.
I'm telling you, man, we ought to get RJ to look at. Let's watch Star Blazers. Let's start with because that one I think was really cool. The animation was pretty decent on it.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that they had the big old cannon
Yeah.
on the front of the ship was pretty amazing.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes of Speed Racer. I know that's not what y'all were talking about, but I'm just saying. I don't
Yeah.
think the graphics. I mean, the graphics, I guess, do matter to some extent, depending on what the topic is. But I would say, having grown up on modern, cartoons,
Well, and the
Speed
thing
Racer
is,
wasn't bad.
we're going to criticize the graphics because we're older, but when you're a kid,
Yeah.
you don't give a damn about the graphics.
Yeah.
You don't care what the graphics look like. All you know is the Mach 5 was the greatest invention ever.
Right.
And then you were floored to find out that Racer X was his brother.
Yep, that's right.
Uh,
Racer X.
Dude, that was like the revelation of a lifetime when you're a kid. What?
Sparky.
Racer X is his brother.
Sparky and Chim Chim,
Yeah.
Trixie, Pops. I mean, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
really fun, and like Jay said, I mean, I can remember so many times. Well, and again, when we were growing up, really the only time that we saw cartoons was on Saturdays,
Yeah.
right? So you always made sure you were up early on Saturday because you wanted to watch cartoons all day long.
Oh yeah, man. I remember that. That was like the only reason to exist on a Saturday was to eat cereal and watch cartoons. Because
Yeah,
nowadays, RJ, you kids are spoiled, man. You have 24-hour Cartoon Networks, and you have, just you can watch cartoon. You could watch cartoons whenever you
I
want.
get
after
it.
school.
It's on demand. You
Well,
can
yeah.
watch if you want to. I mean, if you got any of the streaming services, you can watch any. If as long as it's on that platform, you can watch those cartoons anytime you want.
Yeah.
Hey,
even
hold
though-
on.
What?
I was gonna say, I just want to remind y'all that I was still part of the era where they weren't 24-hour, but not just that, where you had to make sure you turned off the TV at the right time because otherwise Antique Roadshow was coming on next.
Wow.
But you still had see
That a
you were
shot at me?
cartoons.
No,
Yes,
Was that a shot at me?
it was a shot,
No.
dude. Shots are fired.
no.
But you had cartoons after school, though, right? You could come home after school and like 4 o'clock, there'd be cartoons on Channel 21 or Channel 27. Even
Yeah.
when we were growing up, cartoons didn't happen after school, dude. It was a Saturday morning and that was it. And then Sunday morning, you got the spare Davy and Goliath episode.
Well, that's not true. Towards the end, bro, they did start having cartoon cavalcade in the afternoons. So, but it wasn't every day.
Yeah.
It wasn't every day. But yeah, for the most part. Well, hey guys, I look at the timer in the corner and I see that we're just about over that hour time. So
Yeah.
I think it's time we start and call this one a show. We had fun talking a little bit about the cartoons and some of our guilty pleasures as it relates to food. And of course, JJ now the perpetrator of the Christmas season, about 4 weeks too early, but you know.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you for tuning in, watching this episode. We appreciate your time as always. We hope that you'll continue to support us and watch. If you can remember, please hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, what he just did. How come he gets to do it and you don't say nothing?
Because I
Well,
point in the right
you
direction.
pointed up, you got to point down.
Anyway, so also visit our Facebook page, visit us on Instagram, visit us on Reddit, and sorry folks, I got distracted there. So don't forget to also take part in our audio formats on Apple Podcasts, Podbeans, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And what's the other format that we're joining?
You said Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast,
Podcast,
and iHeartRadio. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And again, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, and
Twitter.
Twitter.
And go vote for us on the podcast magazine Hot 50.
Yes, please do that. So thanks again. Until next time, we appreciate you. And thank you, Jesse Pete, because we couldn't do this without you.
Amen.
Good night, boys.
All right.